So, you're thinking about a career in sociology. That's awesome. But what if I told you there's this high-impact role where you can actually use social theory and data science to become an architect of public safety? Okay, let's dive right into the world of the criminology analyst. All right, when you think about fighting crime, your mind probably jumps to a police investigator, right? They're reacting to a specific case, zeroing in on the details, often driven by intuition. Well, a whole new kind of expert has stepped onto the scene. The criminology analyst is basically the polar opposite. They're proactive, they're focused on the big patterns, and they are 100% data-driven. Think of it this way. They're not just solving last week's crime, they're using data to predict and even prevent next week's. First up, let's talk about going beyond the badge. We are not talking about sworn police officers here. Nope. This is a highly specialized civilian professional who is fundamentally reshaping law enforcement from the inside out. And look, this is not some minor back office role. It is widely recognized as one of the most intellectually demanding and, yeah, crucial jobs in the entire field. These analysts are the strategic minds turning mountains of raw data into actionable intelligence. They guide everything from where patrols are sent on a Tuesday night to long-term public safety policy. Okay, Section 2, the analyst's mission. So what do they actually do all day? If you're picturing someone just staring at spreadsheets, you gotta erase that image. The reality is way more dynamic. Their work really stands on 4 pillars. You've got tactical analysis, which is all about the immediate, like identifying crime sprees that are happening right now. Then there's strategic analysis, which looks at the long game, trying to solve those stubborn, persistent problems. Administrative analysis provides the hard data for things like budgets and performance reviews. And finally, criminal intelligence analysis is all about mapping out complex criminal networks. It's a job that forces you to think short-term and long-term, pretty much all at once. And all this work? It doesn't just end up in a report that collects dust on a shelf. Oh no, it is the literal fuel for a super powerful system called CompStat. And CompStat is this management philosophy that police departments all over the world use to drive down crime through accountability. So the CompStat cycle has 4 core steps, but it all kicks off with number 1, timely and accurate intelligence. And guess who provides that? That's the criminology analyst, right there. Their analysis is the critical first domino that dictates everything else: where to send officers, what tactics to use, and how you even measure success. Without that initial intelligence, the whole system just grinds to a halt. Which, brings us to the most crucial point of all. Section 3, the sociologist's edge. Why is a sociology major, why are you so perfectly set up for a career like this? I want you to think about this for a second. Pretty much anyone with the right software can plot a bunch of dots on a map and find a crime hotspot. That's the what. But the million-dollar question is always why. Why is crime clustering in this neighborhood and not the one just 2 blocks over? And that right there is where your degree becomes a secret weapon. See, anyone can be a technician and point to the what, but your training gives you the entire framework to answer the why. And that is the huge difference between a simple data processor and a true strategic analyst. You've probably already studied theories just like this one, social disorganization theory. It basically argues that crime isn't just about bad individuals, it's about neighborhood-level factors. So an analyst with this lens doesn't just see a hotspot, they see the underlying social dynamics at play. And all of a sudden, the solution isn't just send more patrols. It might be working with the city to improve street lighting, or to get funding for after-school programs, or even just cleaning up vacant lots. You see, you're not just reacting to crime, you're changing the very environment that lets it happen in the first place. All right, Section 4, from theory to toolkit. Let's get really practical. How does all that abstract theory from your textbook actually translate into the high-tech tools you'll be using on the job? Well, your curriculum is basically direct job training. You know that class on advanced quantitative methods? That's where you learn the regression analysis you'll use to build predictive models. Urban ecology? That's the foundation for crime mapping in GIS. Your degree isn't just relevant, it's a practical roadmap to the exact skills this job demands. And this is the modern toolkit you're going to master. We're talking software like ArcGIS to literally map out crime patterns, SPSS to run some seriously advanced statistics, and yeah, even learning coding languages like Python or R to build your own predictive models. This is a cutting-edge data science career, but one that's deeply grounded in social science. Finally, let's get to Section 5, your analyst career path. What does this job actually look like when it comes to things like salary and growth? Let's map it out. First things first, let's talk numbers. The median salary for intelligence analyst is nearly $87,000 a year. So this isn't just an impactful career, it's a financially rewarding one that really values your advanced analytical and theoretical skills.
And there's a super clear ladder for advancement. You'll likely start as an analyst 1, learning the ropes, handling the foundational tasks. As you get more experience, you'll move up to an analyst 2, where you're conducting more complex, independent work. And the goal is to become an analyst 3, the real expert, the innovator, who leads strategic projects and even advises on the potential impact of new legislation.
So here's the most important point. Climbing that ladder isn't just about getting better at using software. It's about using your sociological framework to see the bigger picture. That's what lets you evolve from someone who just processes data into someone who actually shapes strategy and drives real meaningful change. So, as you start to map out your own future, you got to ask yourself this. Are you ready to combine your understanding of social structures with some really powerful data skills? Are you ready to move beyond just theory and make a tangible difference in people's lives? Are you ready to be an architect of public safety?